What up, everyone? Switched up here, and as always, it's a Saturday, so I thought, why not? And as some of you, some of my viewers may have noticed, that some of my past streams from the last week and yesterday's stream was deleted. It mostly factored that troll happened to show up in my stream, and I know that for a fact that many people in many different streams, no matter if it's Twitch, Steam, or any other platforms, there's always some trolls. And people gonna have to know that if you have trolls, don't provoke them. That is the number. That is 101 information that people shouldn't do. Why? Well, some trolls are easily triggered to be causing that much trouble back to them, or they even be are some trolls that simply is looking for, um, well, simply to be trying to trigger you to be satisfied. Some trolls getting this some sort of thrill, a kick, a rush, in order to be satisfied that they're being provoking the person they've been targeted for. It is a very unusual, not for many people to simply to like, oh yeah, I can just troll them and see if I can get some reaction. And the fact is, there are some people that easily can be triggered and don't realize it, that they are just being targeted by those annoyed trolls. And I know for a fact that Game Guy, who's a very good friend of mine, was also being triggered. And he was a target for a troll. The same troll happened in my stream for a few times. And not only that, he had also been, this particular troll had pretended to be my friend Malachite. First time was last year, one of many of his OC names. And the second one he used was yesterday by the name Waterfall. So this troll, he had been trying to provoke me or my friends in order to get this, I don't even know. And if you were seeing this person happen to in your streams or someone else have this type of Mickey Mouse voice, yeah, that's him. And if you say the N word, that's different. That's different him. He had been going around in Malik Game Guy stream in different names, like 3 different names, and so in mine. And it's just getting a bit annoying how to just troll, thinking that they would be able to provoke me much. But I just say, this particular internet troll believes he can trigger me to get angry or anything. I have to say this, that is rare. It is rare to me get pissed off that much. So no matter how much this troll is trying to provoke me, good luck. There is not much you can try. I may sound upset right now, but I'm far from upset. I'm trying to say this, people. If you were somebody being in a stream and then someone named Sweet Diablo showed up and it even had my profile, that's not me. If there's someone named as Switch Diablo in other people's streams, start talking weird or rude, or even using some very racist terms or words like the N word, yeah, that's definitely not me. So I'm just saying, I have been a target for a troll for the past year now. I have banned this troll twice in my stream. Last year, when he appeared in Game Guy streams, he would start targeting Game Guy for some reason when he was playing along with his brother. And he started accusing Game Guy for saying something to him, which is a complete lie. It is absolutely not true. And I was there in that particular stream where it happened. I tried to talk to him to realize what he was doing was just nonsense. Try to de-escalate the whole thing. And it seems to work. It seems to work. He started calming down and he started to show remorse and even apologize. But then, as it quickly happened, he went back to his previous behavior. So I don't think that behavior of him being showing remorse, which was just merely an act. I know very many fans have been perhaps been in Game Guy stream and seen this type of behavior. And that troll, when he was in Game Guy stream, he was known as Junior. Now, and when he was in my last stream last week, he ended up appearing in the back in same thing, saying, and his username was Burrito, using the N-word, banned. Now he's back again yesterday. And I mean, I was considered to just simply just either stop putting the link in the comments so that people can join in. And I was even considered to even suspend my streams for a couple of weeks or maybe a month. And if this troll happened to continue, I may simply have to simply stop my streams altogether. Not because I'm getting upset or this troll or anything, it's just simply as annoyance. It is pretty much annoyance. And as if this happened yesterday when this troll happened to appear. Same guy. And the funny is, well, I was saying funny, but the horrible part is that when I mentioned yesterday on Discord after stream was over, I mentioned to Malachite, or at least in the stream, that this troll happened to use one of Malachite's usernames for one of his many OCs. Let's say he was flipped out. He said something like, let's see. Find it here. People can. I'm not going to. That's that. Don't know if. So, as you may understand. Oh, I'm glitching out. Give me a second. I may have a figure and fix it. Hopefully. Let's see if it works now. Yeah, I mean, those trolls are getting very much annoying. It's just, there isn't much anything else that we can do about it. Seriously, it's just, this troll is having been a constant annoyance for all to us. To me, Game Guy, Malachite, for over a year. It is very annoying I don't understand anyone because I just don't understand why people, of all people, target me for some trolls. I mean, I was just doing the stream yesterday as normal, talking to Game Guy. We were planning to do this game show stream, but since not many people joined in, so we decided just skipping it just to do some regular stream instead. And then this troll showed up. I can say also that with the last week, when the same troll happens, he started saying some pretty much nasty words in the comments. I'm not going into much detail since I don't even remember much about it, except it was, yeah, it was pretty nasty. I'm just saying it's not really something I was expecting. I've been streaming for 3 long years. And it's only until like last year when this troll started to show up. So I was surprised of that. Trust me. I had enough for, even though I have been doing the streams for 3 years, I never had any problems with anyone before then, like no trolls, anything. Sure, I had some friends showing up in the comments to mess around, to just act like a little bit some, friendly idiot, like a friendly idiot, but more like, more like goofing around, goofing into each other. It's just how that is. That's some of the things I pretty much can't tolerate. But as you start to be using the N word in an active stream, how do you think most people would even respond to that? It's like if I was simply suddenly go up to random African Americans, like say, if I was in the US and if I ran up to some random African American guys and started using the N word, that is an offensive, racist comment about it. And Game Guy is here apparently, even though he was supposed not. Loudness overload. Yeah, that's understandable, Game Guy. So I'm just saying this. Yeah, unfortunately, Athena, trolls. Yeah, they can happen to appear at any time randomly. They even that has been, even the bigger YouTubers like Markiplier, PewDiePie, or even some other big, really big YouTubers, or any other other bigger, well, big YouTubers can have trolls in their streams. Not necessarily just on StreamYard. It can be Steam, it can be Twitch, it can even be on Twitter. Well, X, for some people still call it for now. I don't know why. But trolls can happen at any platform. At any platform. Even YouTube can have its own problem. You may think, wait, what about some other social media like Facebook, Instagram? Problem, yeah, that happens even there. So I'm just saying, trolls. I only have one question. Why? Why are you doing it? For doing it, trying to getting some sort of certificate.
Technology. Also, hi, Athena.
So what is it the meaning for trolls even doing this? Well, simply because being satisfied, hoping to provoke someone and get satisfied, like a rush or a kick from it. Seriously, I understand that people getting rush or this type of thrill when they're doing something that's very excited, like being scaring people or bungee jumping or something. You get this natural thrill, want to do something. But trolls is a whole different ballgame.
Perhaps we should stop talking about them.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyways, just to be saying this.
Because it's like, if we do, then they're just going to be like, oh my god, I did it. I got them to talk about me. Wow.
Yeah, but if this troll do happen to reappear or something, I'm saying this, you may think you can get as much of satisfied reactions from me that you want to. Just come on, just quit already. Okay, just before you start talking about it, but what if this is an official work title Internet Troll? If that would be an official title of a work on the internet, that would be one of the most hated work in general. Perhaps even more hated than scammers. But anyways, just trolls, just back off. It's not really true. It's not really much of. Hopefully, you're getting this type of reaction you think it is. Just leave it at all. It's not really worth it. Well, what else been happening?
Nothing. Like,
Yeah.
really, nothing.
Well, for me, it hasn't been much either since. Well, well, to me today actually,
That's probably
I haven't done much. I got up around 1 in the afternoon, give or take. Just had some lunch, well, late lunch, and went to the store, do some basic shopping, some candy and all that. Just, what else to do? And you went through something sad too, Avina. What did that be? Yeah,
huh?
well, you can call it. Yeah, you can call it brunch. My brunch was just a salad, made of cucumber and tomatoes. That's all I did. Losing a family member, yeah, that's yeah. Unfortunately, that'll be it. I have also lost several members in my family for the past 20 years. First was my grandparents from my dad's side, like my paternal grandparents. I have zero. I don't even have no memories of my paternal grandparents whatsoever. They died when I was just as a baby or so. Uh, both died of cancer. Uh, I I kind of say my my adopted grandfather, my adopted maternal grandfather, lost his wife back in 2005, also from cancer. So that's 20 years ago. So it's a lot of people in my family that I have lost. Some are kind of being grandparents mostly, and for my maternal biological grandparents, I hadn't even met them either. Since well, let's say it's on family drama. So yeah, losing a family member it's not fun. But it depends on who you're losing, you lost. If there is someone really that's someone you were really close to, or if it's someone you only heard from, or maybe met a few times. But if this can be, let's say, if it's a family member or relative that most of the family hated, yeah. Even though if you have met the person but never actually bonded with them as much, and suddenly they pass away, you may think, no, I don't feel any sadness for this particular individual. Losing someone who is very close to you, it's it's a pretty hard. It doesn't have to be a human as a relative. It can be a beloved pet. someone, a pet would have been in your family for years, ever since you was a kid or as a baby, let's say like a dog or a cat. Losing a pet as a family member, it is also hard. I did had one a family cat, um, but she didn't die. We only had to give her away since it turned out my mom started to develop some allergies or something like that for fur, like cats and dogs. So we had to get rid of those two cats. And but suddenly, after a few years or so, we got new cats and a few dogs. There was at least one cat we did have, but well, we had to get rid of her almost immediately. We didn't put her down or anything. We just had to send her back when we got her. It was she attacked one of my brother's friends, and we also had one. We did have one pet. Yeah, we can do some randomizer game, guy. No problem with that. We did have one
Wait, hold
dog
on.
a few years ago. Her name was Sasha, and yeah, well, I don't know if that cat was aggressive. I barely remember her. We didn't even have her for even. We didn't even have her for even. We didn't even have her for even a month, I believe, or less than a month or something like that. But the dog we had at one point that we got from a breeder, um, it was like a poodle mix. We only had her for 6 months until she passed away from cancer. And it turns out that the breeder, the one who uh, raised the dog from a puppy until well old enough to be sold, she was apparently aware that the dog had cancer, but we never even got the documentation on that. So we could easily, if we had papers proving that, but without those papers, we couldn't prove it. We couldn't even sue her or anything. And they'll say, when we lost her, it was like, I think not even, we didn't even had her even not for even a year. If I remember right, we had a dog for about 6 to 7 months, quite a part of it, half of a year. And when we had to put it down, my mom was devastated. This was like the first dog we had in a family for a while. We even had another smaller dog, but she was, well, let's say she was more like a nightmare. She didn't even listen. So we have you had, but we have currently a new. My parents have a new dog that they had for over a year, a male, American Labradoodle, and another mix. And let's say he is very hyper despite being neutered even over a year ago. And he hasn't even calmed down much at all. But he might be more scared of some sounds and like if there's gonna be like a bomb siren or even tornado siren, he will start shaking. I remember we did have one cat when I believe it was around when I was around 5 to 6. But the dog my parents had, yeah, he's about a year old, so he's very energetic. Despite being neutered, he is very
Oh,
energetic.
please.
So but we did have one cat many years ago. Um, I had to be between 5 or 7 years old at the time. I wasn't even aware that she was sick. My mom had put her in a cat box or those transport cats in. Oh wow, that's a broccoli, Mario. But what happened to that cat is that what happened was sadly like I said, I wasn't even aware. Yeah, cat carriers. I wasn't even aware that the cat was sick. So and I remember when my mom was on the phone with someone, I opened the hatch and let her out. And let's see, my mom wasn't happy about it, but then same day she actually took her to the farmer, not farm from where we lived, and he shot the cat. And I don't even remember if I was even sad or not. But we did have one cat also around the time that later. Um, the funny thing is, we even had a pet rat at around the time. Wow, that was fast dying. This particular pet rat, it literally walked under the back porch, and my mom told the cat we had then,
My God, was
"You go on."
outside the pipe, dude. I don't...
Yeah. So she told the cat like, "Go under there and bring out the rat." And only about a moment later, the cat literally came out alone, but the rat was walking behind the cat, like it was on. It was just like the cat had talked to the rat to come out, and the rat followed after. And don't even ask me how that's even possible. I have no idea. um, I did even have one other pet rat until some years ago. She was very she was very unique. If I was yeah, if I was in the this particular rat I had, if I was in the living room and if she was in the hallway or in the kitchen, if I just tapping on the floor and called her name, yeah, she came to me like a dog. That was a rare occurrence. Happened all the time. But when this happened, when I had her, I just could even tapping on the floor. I could have been in like in the bathroom or something where I couldn't been even upstairs, call her name, and then just like walk up. Oh, funny story. The same pet rat. At the time, my brother had a cat. He was this orange type of colored cat. Um, they were getting along well. So, but one day, this my brother's late cat he was chased by her up the staircase, and but get what? Staircase. He ran up the rest of the staircase into my parents' bedroom, up on the bed, and he was like looking down and like, "Yep, you can't get me." Yeah, and guess what? She jumped on the bed and used her claws on the bed sheet and crawled all the way up. Yeah. Yeah, apparently that's you know. Well, apparently, so that's glitching is happening. Yeah, apparently. uh, but yeah, this pet rat, she jumped on the bed sheet, crawled up, and the cat was like, "You," he's like going his mind like, "You gotta be kidding me." Oh man, that was fun.
94.
Oh man, that was pretty fun though. Cats and rats are pretty much one of my favorite animals I had over the years. Yeah, but sadly for pet rats, especially in Sweden, don't even live for long. Max 2, 3 years at most. Most of the cases that they die so young is that they develop cancer. The most, the fact, and here's one thing about, like, say, the lifespan of certain animals, like dogs. The oldest dog in history is an Australian cattle dog. He was 29 years old when he passed, and that's impressive. And normally that dog lived for only for between 15 to 18 years or so, I believe. Or let me say around 15 years, but this dog lived past that record with 29 years instead of 15. And there was even one cat that has, which there is a cat that still holds the record for the longest and the oldest cat in the world. And its name is Cream Puff. It's basically a tabby. And get this. I did once before looked up how long a tabby usually live, how long their average lifespan is. This this particular cat's breed, tabby, only live for 15 years, but this particular cat, Cream Puff, it literally passed its age, that lifespan, way much. This particular cat actually lived way longer than 15 years. When it died, it was 38 years old, almost 40. That is not impressive. I was like, whoa, a cat that can live that long, despite then, but this was a tabby mix, not a pure breed. But a cat that lived passing its age is impressive. Malachite is probably well, he's actually he said here on Discord, I'm gonna be doing a bit more, but I will jump in, all right? Then he will join in us. So I don't know exactly when he will join in.
You better not jump down that slide. I don't think I can get on the slide.
Have you ever heard of a
Okay.
cat that was a have you ever heard of the cat that was a mayor of a small town? There were actually a cat.
That quote was so shocking it caused me to stop playing for it.
This cat, unfortunately, is no longer alive. He he was the honorary mayor of Takeda in Alaska.
Dude,
He was in office between 1997. Whoops.
There we go.
He was the mayor, the honorary mayor for this small town in Alaska for 20 years, and his name was Stubbs because his tail was just that, a small stub. Yeah, a cat that was honorary mayor of a small town in Alaska. And even though this town is only historic district, every afternoon, stops at the nearby restaurant, drink water mixed with catnip of a wine or a margarita glass. So basically, Stubbs was drinking milk, water mixed with catnip in from a wine glass or a margarita glass. Um, actually, I believe the people literally voted him as the mayor of the town, but he was like the official mayor. He was more like an honored mayor. Um, but he was even described as a tourist attraction, having been flooded with cars and letters, drawing 30 to 40 tourists each day on the route just to meet this honor position, this honor, the mayor. Um, this particular town was don't even have that many people. It's about just above 1,055 people.
Oh,
Um, he was even attacked by dog back in 2013, and but he managed to survive. Um, let's go see here. There were even a group of teenagers even shot BB guns at him. Um, and he fell into the restaurant's deep fryer, which had been switched off and cooled. So he, yeah, so they basically shot him, this cat with BB guns, and he fell into in the restaurant's deep fryer, the same thing that you use to make fries. But it wasn't even that it had been turned off and was cool. So if that fryer would still been very much in use and he fell in, yeah, he wouldn't even have survived that because
oh, you
no.
could have gotten it.
Honestly, I don't know how.
Yeah, not too sure why anyone would want to give
Well,
that kind of power to a fucking cat.
uh,
Also, Athena, if you want to give me a seed for the randomizer, you can. It could be any number you want.
well,
This number right here, 99999.
just to be, I think this might be surprising you more though, but there is actually even a dog in the US that was a mayor. His name was Mayor Max II. He was the mayor. He was a golden retriever, served as the second unofficial mayor of a small town in California. He was in the service between 2013 to 2022, and he was succeeded by Max III. So apparently, Max II was an unofficial mayor for the small town in California, and he had a successor.
She's gonna be so scared.
Yeah, it's and he was only 9 years old when he passed. I mean, can you even imagine? You live in a small town and you have one unofficial cat or a dog as the mayor. So what's next? So what's next as an unofficial mayor? A horse, a cow, or pig? As oh, can you even imagine a beaver as an honorable unofficial mayor of your town? That would have been interesting. Oh man. I can even imagine that there is an animal that can even serve as an unofficial mayor or something. In fact, there is actually even a station, a train station in Japan that has a cat that serves as a station master. But this particular cat is actually the second one in line because the first one passed away only a few years ago. And this station actually was about to be closed. And the station master, let's say human station master, he actually started giving this cat food, some warm place to live, and unfortunately, it's sad as unfortunate what happened that, or is unfortunately, the
Is
people saw this.
pixel tape somewhere stupid. That's fine.
Some people literally saw this cat at this train station in Japan to be, and suddenly drawn
What is going
attention.
on over there?
Mm, but this cat literally draw attention to tourists and the locals. And eventually, this cat later was given an official train station master as a rank. But sadly, the cat would eventually pass away. But this train station, they decided officially to adopt a new cat to train as a new train station. Oh, uh, can you imagine? Can you imagine that if Stitch was the mayor of uh, somewhere in Hawaii, the small town or the town where Leo is living, that he was honored to be voted as the official mayor? That would have been amazing. Oh man, he probably would have made one national holiday, or at least maybe a local holiday for to celebrate Elvis. And speaking of the Lilo and Stitch movie, I haven't even seen the new version yet, though. Um, the the only one sad part of that new movie is that Ganto, that giant captain, was not even mentioned. He was even written out of the movie, and they Jumba, turning Jumba in more to the bad guy. And as Game Guy one told me that Cobra Bubbles, the former CIA agent who is now a social worker, is more has more villain title rather than being a small hero. And I was like, what can't be right? And and okay, this scene from the original Lilo and Stitch is a very iconic. If you may remember when Lilo takes Stitch into Nani's bedroom in the morning, put his paw on that record player, and lift his mouth, and the music start playing. Yeah, I was wondering, did they even keep that scene in the movie? Well, yes and no. The only difference that they kept that scene, but they changed it a bit. Rather from being Nani's bedroom, it was in the kitchen. It was still used. They still used that, but they weren't even in the bedroom anymore, but only in the kitchen. And the song they put that they played in the movie, in the original movie, and compared to the new one, it was not even the same music. It was not the same song, but it was still an Elvis song. So I was actually at least happy they kept that song, kept that scene, even though changed just only location in the house, and that they also changed the song, but it was still an Elvis song. Even though it was just a different song, I was okay with that. And I would even read that if there would be a sequel to this movie, it would have been about Sparky, one of Stitch cousins. And I was like, okay, okay, that would be a very that would be interesting. But then, if they would decide to make, like, say, a live action version series based on the original Lilo and Stitch TV show, but in live action, if they decide to keep that but the same actors, but then it had to be one crucial character had to be in it. That had to be Ganto. If they don't even put Ganto in the series, just imagine. Just only imagine, because first of all, he is working for Hansville. If they don't even put Ganto in the series, that would have been a big mistake. Huh. And apparently Athena is trying to join in, but it's saying I can't log in. They need to connect the mic or cam before they can add them into the stream. So I can't put you in the stream right at the moment. But you don't even have to show yourself or even talk in the mic and just well, technically, Athena, you're actually not even in the stream itself. You're more like in the backstage, and I can't put you in the stream since you need to connect your mic or cam, or at least that some that way.
Yeah, stream guys are a little silly sometimes.
Yeah, unfortunately, it happens.
Yeah, oh my god, Mario, don't do that.
Yeah, it just happens sometimes. But StreamYard, well, you can always go back to stream to YouTube or there in that one place. But yeah, but you could try if you've seen this in this screen that says mute start cam and video, that you can if you choose to simply, well, you don't even have to be talking in the mic or even show yourself in order to be in the stream. You don't even have to. And Game Guy will be back, just StreamYard kick him out. It's not unusual. So yeah, and yeah, he will be back here just in a moment until. And he's back. Well, Athena, if you will come back later, yeah, happens. And but like I say, Athena, if you want to come back, you're always welcome back anytime.
Make sure my audio didn't get screwed up. Yeah. Dana. You know what? Just for her, I'm gonna put 2, 2, 2, 2, 2 here.
All twos.
Yep.
I assume that Malachite might actually join. I assume that that Malachite might actually join in the stream soon with the next. I don't know. She is gonna play a game about horses. Hmm. I don't even know any. I don't. I don't think there's only one game of horses that I can even think of, like Stable Star, if I'm saying it right. I haven't played any games about horses, but honestly, I don't think it is. Personally, I don't think horse games is something for me though. Personally, but hey, there's always some games that they're always out for something.
Really?
Oh, so have your day been though?
Um. What? Can I get a closer look at this real quick? Wait.
What?
What
What's
the
so funny?
fuck? Do
Wait, did you?
you not see what's happening on the screen?
The fish is halfway done. Okay, how the heck did that happen? Oh man.
Yeah. He'll leave. Yeah.
That's just.
I can even say that happens. This is an Iron Mario only thing.
Yeah, that's
Star is just a.
That's
Okay,
pretty weird.
That's just a one-up. I don't have to worry about it. What was that long jump that you just did? What? Mario, I don't know what you were thinking, but don't do it again. Star. That is not a star. I'm dead. Well. Okay, well, you put one too many numbers in there. You put 2, 6, 5, 4, 5, 7, which won't fit.
Yeah, I know. That was a bit too much.
What I'm gonna do.
Apparently she's staying. Okay. Well, Athena, if you want to stay, it's up to you.
Plus 7? 52.
Let's see what it's gonna be like. I am always curious on this. Next spar, you'll be like.
Bam. What? What was that? You can't just walk into a Goomba and die immediately. Get the fuck out of here with that. No. No.
Honestly, I didn't even. To be fair, I even saw that happen.
No. I thought I didn't even see that. My whole life flashed before my eyes.
Well, for me, it just
Take 2.
No, we can't do that. The one that she enjoy is called Horse Academy, and that is on mobile. Well, that makes sense. There are some games that you can only play on the cell phones.
That's why I've never heard of it.
Yeah. The only game I had played most of the time on the cell phone is Snake. I was like, I'm so terrible at it. Oh man. Though I think there is a game called Stable Star. If I just let's see, Stable Star.
It's probably on the.
Actually, no, it's
Wii, right? That's what it's
on.
Yeah,
actually, it's called Star Stable. It's an online game.
No, I meant her game.
Well, yeah, that's more likely.
Well, she said it's on her phone, but I think it was like originally on the Wii. I mean,
the game I was talking about.
What?
The game I was talking about start. The game I was talking about, Star Stable. It's not even an American game. It's actually a Swedish game. Oh man, and yeah, they have poor fish, but half his face on the beach like that. It was something new.
I didn't think that was gonna work.
Yeah. Oh, and this Star Stable game back in 2017, it had between 400 to
Weird hitboxes.
500,000 players each month with over 12 million accounts. Whoa, that's insane. And this, unfortunately, this game is only played in Sweden, so not like an American can play it.
One thing that's in the 53.
My sister used to be very crazy in horses when she was young, but not anymore.
Okay. So my backflip, I'm dead.
The scenes that you're talking about,
What
if you
the
see
hell was
Mar,
the
if you
voice?
can see, and if you see Mario that is different colors each time, that's actually every time when you put the numbers in the seed as a seed, that is how that's literally gives Mario his different appearance in the game. That can be the one that he would before you showed up. Actually, no. That when you one of the first that he played as this point, he was he was completely green except with blue glots. So so the seeds are the one is the numbers you put when the game guy put in the game is the
Hey, Bowser.
seed that he the one that he put in is that what how gives Mario different looks every single time.
Got him.
Tell me soft.
I got a key! It won't help, but I got it. Okay, where am I? Oh, the womp. Love that song. Is that a gate? Well, yes, it's a gate. There's always a gate there, but like, I thought it was bigger than it was. Oh, the game's lagging. Oh, the game's lagging really badly. The game does not like having this much stuff go on. You know what?
No
Sure, I guess
kidding.
I'll fight you. Hey, I need to talk to you. Sir, you and I are gonna have the greatest fight ever conceived. I wonder if he can be harder. I don't think he can. The bully bosses can. I'm pretty sure the big boo boss can too. Or is that like to call him King Boo Light? Hiya. Please don't spawn somewhere stupid. Okay, well that's not so bad. It could be worse. Oh god. Get away from me. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about your car's extended warranty. God. I'm gonna go up here. Just like me as a child. You need to get out of here. How do I get that?
Well, unless you're running fast enough to jump up.
Can I wall jump off this? Oh
Okay.
god. Oh wait, actually that's the let's get out there. I got an idea. It might not work. I'm not sure if this is going to actually cooperate or not, but oh! Well, I guess while I'm up here, I'll get you.
Athena said that she wants to see Rainbow Mario if it's possible.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. It's every seed is random, and there's a very low possibility of there being a rainbow.
Yeah, and the thing is, and the thing also that Athena that the thing is that when he put in the random numbers as a seed in a game, we don't know how Mario will. We don't even know how Mario will look like after he put in that seed number, unless that he put in the number that he had used before. But so until then, we don't know if we put in random numbers and beforehand. We don't even know how Mario will even look like. Mario can turn out the complete red, or he can turn it as complete white, or even red and white. Who knows? He can even perhaps end up the same colors as the American flag, white, blue, and red. I mean, just imagine that. Or he can turn on complete blue. That has happened before. So to see the possibility of Mario,
that's definitely Mario, all right.
So turning Mario into like a rainbow colors, unless the game guy had
possible, but like it's gotta be very specific.
Yeah, but unless that you have used him, unless that you have turned game guy, unless if you had already used that seed, I just forgot about it. Considering that book you had, but number of different seeds in it. So yeah, it's possible, I guess. But
yeah, you don't know this, but I literally have a notebook. It's right next to me right now, where I have a bunch of seeds that we've done over the years, and it's yeah. I don't think you know how
that's
long
understandable.
it is.
Yeah, we did actually. Athena, if you have noticed that he dies if he had been attacked by those monsters, creatures,
Jesus Christ,
that he would die. As you can see, that if he had been attacked by those creatures, he dies immediately. But in one of the random monster that he has, he doesn't die immediately. He had some
any of those
lives.
boosts hit me, I was dead.
Yeah, but in the very first random monster that game guy been playing, he doesn't even have to die immediately. He can actually has some extra lives. And even a game guy,
this. What was that color? Oh my god! No, I wanted to see that star, man. That looked cool.
And even Malika, game guy's brother Roy, who have been playing, have played some other Mario games like.
I really want to see that color now.
Origami King and Color Splash and other on his channel. I want to summon Malachite. Oh man, if that was that simple. Perhaps you can probably tomorrow. Oh, wait, not tomorrow, but soon enough.
This will only take a second.
Red, white, and blue. He hasn't even changed the seed yet. Had maintained the same one. He wanted to see that star's color. Hmm. I honestly, I haven't played any Mario games, and I heard this about the new Nintendo Switch 2 that came out soon. If you modify any Mario in a game, like say, if you will give him links, or even say, if you give Link Mario's hat in a game, Nintendo can literally turn off your game for you. They can literally just end the game. Then and your console will be blocked, never be used. And the fact is,
well, actually,
uh,
technically, I can. Hold on.
and then also that turns out though, so that you don't
Give me
even
the best.
own the new Nintendo Switch. It's on a lease. It's kind of the same thing as what happened to this American couple who went to Disney World or Disneyland over about a year ago. This couple, they went to Disneyland for vacation, I believe it was, or honeymoon. Um, they went to one of the restaurants there, and they told the staff, the waiter, that his wife had some serious allergies to dairy, like milk products. And after they after they got the food, they asked the waiter to confirm that their meals don't have any milk or any either butter or anything in it, because of due to his wife's serious allergy. Well, not long after they left the restaurant, his wife started having some problem, and turns out she died. After they had just been left the restaurant, it turned out she consumed her meal and it contained dairy products in it, despite it being confirmed by the waiter multiple times not to have it. And get this, the husband wanted to sue Disney for any of that, but it turns out he was unable to even to sue them due to the fact that uh, he put this application for Disney Plus use, and in the fine print, apparently in the contract of being, if you're using Disney Plus, you can't sue them for no reason. And he lost his wife, and he can't even sue Disney because of that. They want to cause a problem. The fact that they still multiple times try to confirm that his wife meal didn't even have any dairy products in it. And the fact that they even asked the waiter after they got the meals, well, what can I tell you?
It is a large one.
What can I tell you though? It's just how dangerous it is. There was even this other case of this preschool in Florida. They literally had put up Disney characters like Goofy, Daisy Duck, and others on the wall. But when Disney found out about it, this was prior. This was before internet was even a thing. This was on back in the 80s, even before I was even born. um, well, what happened? Disney sued them, threatened with a lawsuit unless they have those characters removed. But then, I believe it was Looney Tunes that another company heard about this, and they offered them to paint over the characters with their own characters for free. What's the problem?
The star color is gonna drive me nuts, but whatever.
Do you have any problems? Because you had restarted the game at least a few times by now.
Let's move on.
Huh. Mario, that's that is kind of candy, Mario. But yeah, Athena, the wife that in the couple unfortunately passed after that Disney. Um, there's even rumors that Disney had his head been stored in a secret vault in a Disneyland, but it's just rumors. It's not even true. Athena, have you seen any of the Star Wars series on Disney Plus, like Mandalorian, Ahsoka, or anything? Since Disney actually planned to do this Mandalorian Grogu movie, hopefully about being released next year, it's to see this Grogu, the same member as Grandmaster Yoda. I was very curious because when Disney was still owned by George Lucas, I was curious why never he came up with this. That as long as he owned, he never had no intention to reveal this his Yoda species name or where he's even from. But but after that, you learned that Disney bought the rights to use Star Wars. I was like, okay, now that Disney's gonna reveal. But no, they didn't. Instead, they decided to keep the secrecy. Mario, wake up.
Oh, what? Oh, sorry. Oh, that's what I get. Hate the stage. The only reason I hate the stage is because it's near impossible to get these damn coins.
Wait, was that a Goomba as
The wing cat kills
Tadpole?
him.
You know, they looked like it was a Goomba that had a tail.
I
I mean, it kind of looks like a Goomba that's flying with a tadpole tail behind it, like a green tail. Hmm. At least that it looks like it, but could be wrong. Candy Mario. Athena, there actually have been a few other Marios that looks like
oh my
like this.
god, that Mario kind of rolls. I'm gonna put that in the thing right this very second.
There is like one Mario that he looks like almost completely blue, like dark blue into light blue, almost like a Iceman. No, I don't have Disney Plus. I do have, but I don't even very watch much these days. The only ones that I haven't seen in years is like Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network, and Disney Channel, especially Nickelodeon. I haven't even seen that much of this since there aren't that many good shows on that TV that channel anymore. There were much better TV shows on uh, Nickelodeon back in the 90s and the 2000s, especially the original Rugrats. They were one of the best series ones as original. The rebooted one that they restarted as a CGI,
You
well,
dick!
based on that, the fact that I've seen just a bit of some clips from the live action or the CGI version of the Rugrats, yeah, not going to watch that one. And the Loud House. The Loud House is one of the the Nickelodeon show I haven't even seen, and not going to. It just I have seen clips from the show on YouTube, and trust me, it was just tiring. It was just too much. It was just it was a bit weird. But some of the earlier series on Cartoon Network, like say the earlier seasons of Dexter's Laboratory, oh that was pretty good. Johnny Bravo, a muscle guy who always tried to pick on ladies, but always end up being hit by them. Oh, speaking of the Johnny Bravo, there's actually there are two episodes. One, they would have the little Scooby Doo characters happen to appearing in it, and as Johnny Bravo, he felt much attracted to Daphne. But the only one of the other characters that was Velma. Velma showed very much an attraction towards Johnny. And I was like, what? And there is one episode of the Johnny Bravo series that he fell in love with this, or he went on a date with a young lady, and she was actually a werewolf. What happened when the sunrise happened? Or she didn't turn to young lady, but rather to a middle-aged man that was collecting stamps. How does even make sense? A middle-aged man turning to a female werewolf, right? It's just it doesn't really add up. It's just not really. Oh man. But Disney Channel did have a few series that was pretty good over years, like Kim Possible. Okay, that is a show. It is pretty good. But there is one series that's had a spin-off even Game Guy doesn't like. That's Kid Danger. Am I right?
Randomizer or whatever. Yeah, but Athena, I don't know how many of these streams you fit in where I'm playing the randomizer, but there's a certain curse we have, or I guess I have. Every single time we play this, we always get this stage, and I don't know why. It's like, why? Tell you that this is the one level that we always get, and I don't really know why.
True.
It's like this thing has like a weird. You dick! What do you mean? Oh my god, that's insane that he just tossed me like. Sure, okay.
Game Guy.
Awesome. I love
How about
video games. They're amazing. So good, in fact.
Game Guy? What is your opinion about Danger Danger and Danger Force?
They fucking suck. That doesn't need any hesitation. That doesn't need any explanation. They fucking suck. They suck since day one. They're so bad.
How
Remember
about
back
Danger?
when Nickelodeon did good rom-coms. Remember Drake and Josh? I remember Drake and Josh. That was good. Remember
Yeah.
iCarly? I remember iCarly. That was pretty decent.
Geez,
And then for
game guy,
some
wait, I
reason, they were
remember.
just like,
Yeah, the new version of the new version of iCarly. I seen just some about it, and it wasn't even that good,
oh,
honestly.
whoops. That's totally my bad.
Yeah,
That's
his
totally
memory
my
is.
bad. Sorry, Athena. That's I totally forgot about.
I think I can say this.
That's
His memory is
totally
not
slipped my
even
mind.
that.
It has been a while, to be fair, and also
Yeah, his memory
sometimes it
isn't
just
even
comes
that
out, you
good.
know.
Game Guy's memory is known for not to be so good.
Especially for a game like this, where you die in
Yep.
one hit, you're just like, what do you
But
do next?
but speaking of the TV shows though about iCarly, they when they made the remake when they
Get just
made
staff.
this more like a adult style of this version, more like
Oh, I should have
for
checked it.
older.
There was a.
The one of the audience, but for the new
Oh, that's
iCarly
right.
when
I'm
they
checking it. Let me go
focus on
back.
the more mature audience, they even had some Sam Puckett in it because Sam Puckett was one of the who really put the comedy in the whole thing.
Frankly, I don't know why. That's not good. That's not good.
The only men,
I
whoops,
was dead either way.
but the only thing that they mentioned that Sam Puckett was in fact still around, but she was traveling with this biker gang.
He was either going to throw me into that, or I was going to escape and die. It wasn't.
Oh, game guy, since you mentioned that you like Dragon Josh, do
I'm
you
so
remember? Do you
upset or
remember the
whatever.
episode? Do you remember from the episode from
So
the
loud.
Dragon Josh? Game guy, do you remember the episode from Dragon Josh? They were the one they were building this tree house.
Yeah, that's fucked. I took the whole thing off.
Which one?
When Dragon Josh was building that tree house in the backyard. You remember that episode?
I think so.
But they were trying to find a way out when Drake had just I put the marker for the door and it needed power saw, but the power saw was outside and they couldn't even get out. Oh man, that was hilarious.
I can't get that.
No more
Well, I'm
curse
dead.
words, please.
The face.
Um for me, Athena, you really don't have to worry about curse words since uh okay, speaking of curse words, there is actually one word that can be considered as a curse word, but also at the same time not, which is damn. Because the word damn can be used in a sentence, just like, today I'm going to build a dam, or damn, that dam isn't finished. But using the word almost like it's like damn it or damn, but as long as we use the word damn in some sentence, because it's kind of a strange if you put it in, like, say, if you see it from this view, some words that is normally as considered as curse words like damn, hell, but if you use them in sentence, like if you have been bad, if you've been bad in life, you go to hell. If you've been good in life, you go to heaven. Today we are going to finish the damn. It's somehow strange that some words that is normally considered can be considered as a curse word, but also can be used in normal sentence. If the word hell is considered as, Uh, if that can be considered a bad word, curse word, then they shouldn't be that word should even be taught at the Sunday school. Fuller House. Let's see here. Speaking of the one I mentioned of the Henry Danger, they actually made a movie of that one. Um, it's gonna be released. Oh, it was released January 17, 2025. But Fuller House, I don't. Wait, wait, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This isn't. Wait, no. Fuller House. Okay, I had not even seen that one, but it turns out Fuller House is a sequel to Full House. And the Full House, I recognize that
Yes.
one. Full House was only on TV between 1987 to 1995. And I actually did used to be watching some of the Full House when I was growing up.
Please don't hurt me.
But Fuller House, I wasn't even aware that was even a thing. And actually on Netflix.
Hello, I would like a race. This is probably the easiest start to get in this area. And by probably, I mean is. What? That's... I don't even know how to react to that. You know, I don't know anymore. We're gonna say I got tiny huge island. Id. That's not an adjective, but I'm making it one anyway. All right, let's see. Let's do 6, 4, 3, 8, and we could do 6 again. 2 6s because that's just how I roll. Let's do that. I gotta turn this off because it's kind of annoying. All right, let's do it. Don't kill me. Hello. No, whenever we play this, I always feel like I'm forgetting an area. Maybe I'm just used to B3313, which I probably am. Now I play the game a lot. Oh, hello there. Hello there, creatures that will probably kill me. All right. And by probably, I mean will. Don't you dare! All right. God, this is terrifying. All right, 3. There's 4 over here. That guy just went a million miles per hour. He really just... God, in a school zone too? Get out of here. That was a wild joke that I feel like White probably would have made. Wonder how he's doing. I should probably call him later. Which I probably will. If I get eaten by this guy, I'm gonna be incredibly upset. This area is kind of interesting to get in the randomizer, especially this randomizer, because this randomizer kind of just says, yeah, have like 30 fish that'll probably kill you in this very cramped area. Are they the same color? It looks like the same color. That definitely isn't, though. I should probably re-roll the colors in. I don't want to get hit in the face by any of these cheap jeeps or that amp that's just kind of chilling. All right, 1 star. 1 star down, a lot to give. Get up there.
So, Jim,
Yeah, Roy's at the gym.
has he found the gym yet? That he suits for him, or
I
is he
think
still
he
looking?
has, but I think he's still like getting used to it. I think he has, but I think he's still getting used to it. Don't you kill me.
I know. I was just actually
Alright,
surprised
here's
that
Ah,
I'm surprised that Roy had even stayed behind with his dad, with your dad and all.
sometimes he stays at dad's, but he wants to get used to this new area and what have you.
It was the
Yeah. I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Athena. Don't kill me. Athena,
Yeah,
what
she's
would you
in
say
there
is your
anymore.
favorite Nickelodeon show? Just out of
She's in
curiosity,
there.
you know, I break it
She isn't even there. She's in there. No one is watching right now.
Well, maybe she is, and it's just not showing up. I don't know.
No, there is this next one says live. There's this like an eyeball. There's one watching. Okay, now someone's watching, but that is part of it. I can't even tell who is even watching this streams. Oh, it's gone. Been happening a few times.
You know what? Yeah, sure. I'll get started.
It has been happening a few times right now that over and over there is always one or two people watching, but not longer. I wonder when Malakat is gonna show up.
It's gonna spawn out there. Probably. Hello.
Yep. They are.
All right, that's star 3.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about this music being in the metal cap area.
Malakai, where are you?
He did say he was gonna mow, didn't he? And mowing takes a pretty long time, so I'm not very surprised he's not here yet.
Well, that depends on if it's even.
6.
It depends on the his own yard or his neighbors.
There's 7. That's number 8. Is this Impact music? I think it might be. Appreciate that. What? I literally just ran into that guy. What the? That was the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life. You know what? I'm so upset with myself. I'm gonna force myself to do this scene instead. I keep forgetting that the door opens in the way it does. Actually, before I go in there, I want to wear this pretty cool to Mario. Also, I smell you. I can only imagine which one will have proof on them.
So, what's for dinner?
Pizza.
Shocking.
Where in the world?
Damn it, Robert.
No, I'm just wondering where the first star is. Oh, there it is. I see. Star One! It's an interesting shade of like pink. Hello. Why, dude? I don't understand. I don't understand this course. I really don't. Imagine being Niall and dying 3 whole times. I don't understand anymore. Solstice Discord. Bam, Mario B. Hello. Star? That's just points. Star? That's not a star. Oh god, this star 6. Alright, I got star 6 without dying.
Don't jinx it. So when is the next game that? So when is the next game that Roy will try play on your channel?
Well, the thing is, Brothership is kind of a really, really long game. It's gonna take a while for him to finish it. Like, it's probably gonna be our longest project as to date.
How many parts do you think the game will
But
be?
next, depending on what Roy gets, I mean, I don't know if he's gonna get all the side quests. I don't know if he's gonna get all the blocks, if he's gonna go back and see what he can do with new abilities. I don't know what he's gonna do. It really does depend on Roy. But if I had to guess, we're at part 4 right now. I would say maybe if I think probably
Maybe like 10 parts.
10 sounds right, but it might be more than that.
Nice.
Like, when I say this game is long, I mean it's long.
Well, that makes sense.
I'm gonna put. Why not? But next, remember Mario plus Rabbids?
I guess so.
Swedish. Yeah, they made a sequel
yes.
to that, and that's. I don't care who says what. Roy's playing that next. Because it's not as long, but it's insane, is what it is. Insanely good. Oh my god. Can you stop giving me the wing cap?
Hey, the better advantage cap.
I can't even do anything with the wing cap. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but this game doesn't have the switches that B3313 had for the randomizer. Also, ow.
Athena is back.
I'm so dead. I died. I'm dead. I too shall put hugs. The door did not want me to do that, but anyway. S, shift, and just press that, and enter. Computer, please. Don't be a...
Don't be an
I'm
idiot.
losing my mind. Anyway, I'll be right back.
Well, I think that it's not easy to lose someone like that. It's never an easy. Also that the fact that, like I mentioned earlier, that I lost my paternal grandparents. I can't say I can't feel any sadness to that
Really?
due to the fact that I have no since due to the fact that I don't really have no memories of my grandparents from my dad's side since I don't remember them, so I really can't feel any much sadness in that. But my dad had told me some stories about my grandparents, what they were like, and at least I know some of the stories based from what being told from my dad and from my mom about them. I really wish that I could have learned something, at least met them even as a kid. But losing a family member is never an easy feeling. I know that my biological maternal grandfather passed away some years ago in his 60s, but none of my family had even had any form of contact, neither with him or my biological grandmother. It's was never very much a thing. I think last time my mom met her biological parents was when she was like 13, 14. My my adopted maternal grandmother passed away. Um, what was it? Whoops. Um, 11 years ago. She I was supposed to be going to her funeral, but I ended up having a fight with my parents, and so I didn't even go. But um, she was really a nice person. I actually spent a whole week with her and her late boyfriend when I was a kid during the summer. It was pretty nice. I mean, she was a nice person. She was very kind. She was never abusive. She was never verbally abusive or anything. She was a very kind person. Even though we weren't biological related, but she was the closest thing to an actual grandmother. And the last time I saw her, well, she was very thin. She barely ate, was barely eating anything. She was having this dementia, or whatever it was called. And the last time I saw her, I said goodbye to her. And exactly a week later, we learned that she had passed away. So I was able to say goodbye to her directly. And I don't regret that at all. If I was even being there with my mom and my sister and my brother, if I hadn't even been able to say goodbye to her, or at see her before she passed, I don't know how I felt otherwise. I never fought with her. In fact, my grandmother was very unique in many sense. Every time when you're getting money from your grandparents, like for your birthday, uh, or maybe for Christmas, well, we usually you get bills, like $20 bills, maybe $100 bill or something. But my grandmother, she did complete opposite. Rather from giving us bills, she gave us coins rather from bills and money. Even though as a kid, that was fun. But as we're getting older, when we were reaching our teenage years into our late 20s, she still did that. But I didn't even complain much. I thought it was funny as much. Uh, but yeah, she was very kind. My my adopted grandfather's, I believe his third wife. Yeah, his third wife who passed away from cancer back in 2005. She was like also like a grandmother to us, and she was really kind as well. She actually had cancer twice. First was breast cancer, she managed to beat, but then the second type of cancer she get was bone cancer, and that one it's much more much tougher to resist. Depends on how far it is spread in your bones. If it's just only one small area, maybe, but if it's far spread, yeah, it's only a matter of time before individual passing away from that. But I liked her as a grandmother type, and she was very kind. Even when she was sick from the bone cancer, the times when we met her, she was very weak. She was barely had much any energy. She was like a shadow of her former self. But she did took enough energy that she can meet each other for during the final times when we were able to see her. And it's never easy. And as my maternal grandmother, when she passed, her boyfriend was still much alive, but he passed away 1 year and 1 month after she passed. Exactly 1 year and 1 month after. And even before she passed, he was still very much mentally, clear his mind. But after she passed, his mind started being was almost like also started developing dementia. And I went to his funeral with my mom, my sister, and my brother. And that I'd say is were like my second funeral that I ever been to. The first one or the second one was where an old colleague of mine from my old workplace. But yeah, going to funeral is never easy. It never is. I know that for during my grandmother's late boyfriend's funeral, um, that was like the first time in years that I started drinking coffee again. Like I even actually never liked coffee as much, but I tried at least. But in the end, it was like more like 90% milk than coffee. So that was just more than halfway left. I just drink it up fast enough I could, as fast as I could, and I just took a glass of Coke afterwards to get away of that bitter flavor of coffee. Ugh, I don't even like coffee. I don't even know why I even drank that one. But my grandmother's late boyfriend, he was like another, also like a second grandfather to us. He was very skilled in carpeting. Like he did a lot of carpeting things. He made he even he made a wooden chest by hand to my parents, and even made a small wooden table
Yeah.
to my parents, and even made a candle holder. So he was very skilled to work with wood with by hand. I actually miss both of them. I will do. But my paternal grandparents, I can't say much since I may have met them, but I was too young to even remember them. When my maternal grandmother passed, I was maybe 1.5 year old, and my paternal grandfather, I was barely 3.5. So I kind of met them many times, but just don't have any barely any memories of them. My parents told me that I actually inherit something from my from my grandmother's side of family. Like if I can, she could find almost anything. like anything on the streets. That can be a pencil, it could be money or anything. And somehow I get that same ability to find almost, well, could have been coins, could have be a bill, or maybe pencils, or even basically anything. There is actually there is one story that my dad told me a couple of years ago about my grandmother. This is actually a fun story. At least this sounds fun, but at the time for my dad, it wasn't fun. This was back in, I think, could have been 70s, early 80s, maybe. I believe it was around when, no, I think it was in the 70s when my dad was, maybe before he was a teenager. But he and his friend had collected a lot of glass bottles to recycle from money for. Now these days you have the machines that you could put the bottles and the cans in for get the money for that. But back then it didn't even exist much. So they collected enough in a garbage bag and they put it in my dad's family's storage for safekeeping. And only about some time later, they were going to do to pick the glass bottles that they had collected to just get some money for it. But when they went to storage, the plastic bag was completely gone. My dad later found out it was my grandmother who took the those glass bottles and returned it for money so she could buy a bottle of wine. Apparently, my grandmother was a bit of alcoholic, but yeah, it was. But it was funny when he told me the story. I was like, I mean, I can understand my dad's anger. He was used to still as a kid when he find out that his own mother, my grandmother, had taken the plastic bag with the bottles that he and his friend had collected to get money for, and that. Oh man. Game guy. Athena asked if you could put your channel so that she can sub to you.
Oh yeah, sure, I can do that. Give me
I I actually noticed that you.
1 second.
I actually did. When I was watching YouTube on my TV earlier, I
Hey,
noticed
what
that
about because
you actually have you actually have 90 subscribers now.
you're gonna want to know this. I I don't. Where's my channel?
I mean, if you want, I could probably fix it. I guess you just go to YouTube and. The thing is about I think that mentioned one of the previous streams that she were in that she was sub to me. I actually went to her channel, but the thing is, if you go into her channel, I can't even see if she's even subscribed to me. I mean, this is like an openly that they had this a set of some they had this function before that you could see other people's uh, how many subscribers they had, how many people they subscribed to. But I can't even see how many people that she is subscribed to or anything. And she said that she subscribed to me, and I was like, okay, was it like recently or just over a year ago? But when suddenly, only about I think it could have been what a couple of weeks afterwards, she posted a comment in one of my videos or something like that, and I then saw every time when I had one of my subscribers, there's always like a red dot that marks that showing that is one of the subscribers. It's also saying how long this person had been subscribed to that channel, especially for me. When I looked, it said 2 years. And I wasn't even aware that she had been subscribed to me for 2 years. I was expecting maybe just maybe a couple of weeks, maybe a month or so, but 2 years, that was mind blowing. I actually had, I did receive a comment. That had happened a few times. I actually received comments from other subscribers to me. Some have been around for 4 years, 5 years. There was at least one that had been around for 9 years. I mean, consider how many stories I have, and let's see here. But there was this one YouTube channel that I if I can find that particular comment, but this person this was one of the remakes I did for a story, and this person was like along the lines of, "Damn, are you still?" This person said something like, I don't even remember the precise words. I really wanted to look at it, but for some reason, when I'm using StreamYard, YouTube is a bit slower. Yeah, that's something I had to live with. It's yeah, it's just how it is. But I really, even if I even could see how long Athena had been subscribed to me at the first, honestly, I didn't even care if she had been subscribed to me for just about a few days, to even a month, or even a year. As long as she subscribed and enjoyed my stories, that's all I care. I mean, I don't really care if the person who had been subscribed to me for years, suddenly they decided they didn't want to be anymore. Hey, it's up to them. I can't force my subscribers to remain subscribed to me, because every day I always looking how many subscribers I have. Sometimes, as today, I had 9,125 subscribers, and the other day I had almost close to 9,130. But then suddenly, only about maybe just 1 or 2 days later, it had dropped from 127 down to just 120. So I had lost around 5 to 7 subscribers. I mean, it happens daily basis. So I mean, I can't force any of my subscribers or any of my viewers to be that. So if any one of my viewers have been sort of around, have been subscribed to me for years, or even just for about a month or so, or even just a year, and they decide, yeah, I don't want to be subscribed to this guy anymore, it's up to them. I can't force them to stay. I mean, what kind of person would I be to suddenly, yeah, I can must force it. I must have them to stay there, to stay as my subscriber. But that is the thing. I can't. It's just going against much of a free will. Whoa! Ark Wolfer, or aka Born Dreamer, is in the comments. That's a Born Dreamer, a friend of ours from Indonesia. He actually been in the streams a few times. I think last time he was last week actually. Let's see what that story that was a remake. It had to be not that recent. Let's see here. Not that one. It had to be. It had to be one of these remakes. I think this one. I think if I see this. Nope, not the one. There are still some other stories that I remakes. Boy. Yeah, there are at least 3 people that's watching like right now. Including you, Brody, and someone else. Don't worry, Brony, put the link there. So even though normally I do streams only for about around 2 hours, and I have been streaming for 2 hours and 6 minutes or something like that. So, but I have in the past even passed that from 2 hours to 4 hours, and the longest stream I ever done was 7 hours. If I had, let's say, if I had this stream, if there's like every time when it resets, it's 20 hours. So if I do the stream, I can stream for, yeah, I can stream for 20 hours nonstop. But I don't even do that because, one, I'm not that crazy. Oh man, let's see.
Swedish.
Hmm?
All right, good. My audio didn't get messed up. I didn't realize I was muted.
Yep.
I was talking and I didn't realize that I've been muted the whole time. So it's like, what?
And welcome, Brony. Arc Wolfers. I know for the fact that
Please tell me that's our Arc Wolves.
Yeah, it is. I checked. Don't worry.
Yep, it is me. But
Alright, good. Yeah, I recognize the voice. Alright, we're good. Had to be sure because we've had issues with that sort of thing. So like,
yeah, Brony was actually here last. Yeah.
By the way, now that I'm actually being heard.
Yeah, Brony was actually there present last week, so
fair warning, Athena. Yeah, but Athena, fair warning. Things work a little differently on my channel. I don't hold back the swearing as much as I do on here. So just, keep that in mind. That coin.
Well, I can say this. I do curse.
You know what?
It has happened occasionally that I also curse in my stream, but it's not as much as frequent. It had to be a certain reason for that. Like if I'm mad or something, or something bad happened. But I don't really do that so often.
I don't want to stop. Here comes the snowball. All right, give me my star. Please don't put it somewhere stupid. That's fine. It's at the top, I'm pretty sure.
So, how is Indonesia for you, though, Brony?
The star. Oh, it's hard. The star spawned up here. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that's 5 right there.
Let's see if I can find that comment that I was talking about. Man, there's a lot of...
Yeah, let's stop talking about troll because it's not fun. Anyway.
Yeah, that's depressing.
Let's see.
Here.
What star should I get next? Let's get star 6.
I did mention there was one
I
comment
mean, 6
that I
is
was
probably the
talking about.
easiest to get right now, so.
Let's see. Where are
I
you?
guess I could start 1, 2, but I don't really feel like getting that right now.
Nope, that's not the one.
By the way, I don't know if you've heard it or not, or if you've been paying attention to it, but sometimes when we're doing the randomizer or B3313, kind of depends. Sometimes I like to just let the Mario voice out. You know what I mean? I don't get enough time to play, you know? It's ridiculous. I've been told I do a pretty dang good Mario. So. That's another thing you can keep an eye on. I guess.
Damn it! Damn it!
But whatever.
Oh, damn
What
it!
happened, Swedish?
I was bending down. I was just bending down, and my headset fell on the floor. Just glide off my head. Funny that happens. Oh man! I don't think the serious thought that just flew on the floor. What the?
Gravity. This is all.
Is this some? I wonder if this is something I.
This is music. Alright, I'm gonna unlock the way to the Vanish Cabinet, and I guess I'm gonna head there. Hello! The randomizer specifically.
I wonder when Malekith is gonna show up.
Hey,
you remember right. Take care of the lawnmowers.
Oh god, okay, here we go.
Assuming
let's go
assuming that he's gonna take care of his neighbors. Huh. Let's see this. I think this is. Is this?
Oh, that's a.
Nate, stop.
Oh, stop. And that if I open that and that's a death mushroom, I'm dead.
I thought that I needed
stars so that I can see this area. Let's see.
Don't
a
fail.
Star that I can get.
Yep.
That's a coin. That sounded incredibly odd out of context. There's a star over there. I'm figuring out my strategy here. I don't know which star I want to get. Is there a star over here? I think I would have seen it. Oh, jeez. Dude, he goes so quick! This guy goes like 1,000,000 miles per hour. Like per second, though. God, I want those Slagaches to dance so bad. These stars will not just get at it. Alright, we're good. We're good. Everything's fine. Alright. What are we dealing with here? I guess I'll get this star then. This is literally right here. Get Starfish! I didn't want to hit that block because I wasn't sure what was in there. I unlocked a new area! I don't know what I unlocked, but I did it.
Oh boy.
Hi. I gotta go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10.
I left. Jesus, that guy goes quick.
Well, this is gonna suck.
Are we gonna have a repeat? You're not gonna go up again, are you? Where are you going? That would be really funny if he went up the mountain again.
What the? Did I?
I guess like
I thought
I
I saw something like a ghost or something. But my mind tricking me as usual.
Yeah, you might have seen a boo. I don't know.
Well, I mean,
Would you like to go?
I wouldn't be surprised if this building is haunted or something. And even that old. But you don't even have to be a serious old building for be haunted.
I thought you were watching me, and I thought you were saying you thought you saw like a boo or something. Hello there. I think he goes faster in this. Maybe I'm just wrong. Is it a star or is this a one-up? I think this might be. It is a one-up. It is not the one-up I needed. Not that it matters. I don't have any lives anyway, but. That's bad. I'm running as fast as I can. You can't catch me because I'm Mario, man. Where did the thing land, dude? Where did it spawn? Oh, okay, I see it. Yeah!
That was a success.
Take that, you dumb mushroom!
Okay.
God, that was kind of terrifying.
I mentioned in this earlier that there was this person who said, one of my subscribers that have been around for a long time.
That
I found the
comment.
comment.
Dead, by the way.
I found the comment. This was a person who had been subscribed to me for 6 years, and this one I reposted Applejack and Flynn story, and this person's like, "Oh shit, you're still active?" I was like, "Yes, I'm still active, almost 10 years, still making stories for my channel. I have many stories already, just waiting to be uploaded, and I will start doing it too for a long time." And I was like, "Oh shoot, you're still active?" Oh man, that was funny. Oh man, I never expecting a person like one of our subscribers like, "You're still active?" I mean, if you're subscribed, you probably should have been aware that I've been active. But I post videos daily, almost constantly.
Come
on. Yeah, game guy, do you play Supernatural?
Oops. I did not want to press that.
I'm a strong believer in the Supernatural. I am.
It's gonna sound. I don't really know how to. I don't really know how to answer that. Because I do, but I also don't.
Yeah, it's a depend. Like I do believe in demons and other poltergeist activity are real, but also the fact that if you know that there are some people working as spiritual, saying that they contact the spirits by using a seance. There's actually one famous American performer who went to one of those type of seance to proving that the fact that spiritual, that the spirit or the supernatural was just completely a hoax.
Oh, I'm fine. What happened to that fly guy?
Whatever happened to this one? this was actually Harry Houdini. He went to this one session to confirm his suspicions that this individual performer of this seance was a fake, but just completely lying into that. And this person mentioned Houdini's grandmother and also spoke his name. But after those two mentioning things, he knew this was a complete fake. Why? Well, the thing is that Harry Houdini wasn't even his real birth name. He changed his name so it's like a stage name. And his grandmother couldn't speak English. He was even born in America himself. He was born in Hungary, so he was an American Hungarian citizen. His grandmother could only speak Hungarian, so he exposed this person who performed this seance as a fake. Spaghetti. Oh, no worries. Athena, you wanted to see. You said earlier. You said
Really?
earlier in
Come on,
the
I got the right point star. That should.
you said earlier in the stream. What was it? I want to summon Malachite. Well, it worked. It's here, finally.
Cried in Italy.
It took long enough. Let me guess. Neighbors?
No. I did my job of mowing, and then my mom had me help prep dinner.
Huh. What's for dinner? Pizza?
No, she's grilling steaks on the grill outside.
I haven't had a steak in months. You know, I have to
That was
say
the most incredible move I think I've ever done in my life.
what? You know, even when Athena said that I want to summon Malachite,
Come on, really?
she even
That's what I
she
did.
even asked.
An awesome move.
She even
and
said earlier,
I just
wait, where is Malachite? Well, that was the time when you were mowing and all that, so. And luckily, that individual troll had even showed up for
Thank
once.
goodness.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try.
Cause I swear to God, if I see this jerk, whoever he is, I'm gonna go off
An
on him like the
awesome
time
move.
bomb went off.
Well, I don't blame you. Anyone even would, but honestly, I would even recommend that if you went that off on them, because that was probably really want you to do. Considering that some trolls are just trying to get a provoked response from people. That's why I don't.
If they want to get a good response, then cast them in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. And even as this individual, the same thing even went on Kuvo, but Kuvo didn't respond much to the same thing, and I don't know.
Did he say any bad words in particular in Kovo's stream? Or towards Kovo?
Towards Kuvo. I believe he was in Game Guy stream, and Kuvo was there, and it happened. I was even there as myself at the same time.
Where were you even?
But
must have been one of Roy's games or.
You know, but anyways, every time when the Athena asks, "Wait, where's Malachite? I want to summon Malachite." I I was at that moment. I was like, wait, is it possible that Athena had a crush on Malachite? But
What?
at the same, but at the same time, it's. I, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. But whoops. If I suspect, uh, if I assume that Athena turns 18 or something like that, because on her channel that says that she is 17, at least in the profile text on them. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
If she is 17, then she's 11 years younger than I am.
Yeah, you're 28.
Yeah.
I only saying this. I wouldn't be surprised if that were the case that she had a crush on you, or that. Also, it could simply be that she likes you as a friend. I mean,
I can accept that.
yeah. I mean, it's only what I think it could have been, but at the same time, I don't want to think anything to you, Athena. I want to make any wrong assumption on here. It's just that was what I at least crossed my mind, but it's. I mean, I don't want to say jump in a conclusion right away, since I know for a fact that according to your profile on your own channel that she has a boyfriend, at least that is said so, at least, not that. But I don't know. Honestly, even if she wasn't crushed to have a crush on you, whoops, the game crashed. But even if Athena
The game did not like me pressing that button. Okay.
Hold on, I need to do this. Malfunction. Need input.
Oh man, but yeah. But to be fair, if I had to sing this, throughout those past 3 years when I was streaming, then when there have been girls on the online, there's always some of them actually develop feelings to me, despite I hadn't even met them or known them long enough. Like we have Diana, Crystal, and the one that we don't talk about.
I remember when Deanna was in one of our streams one time, and my uncle called her Princess Squeaky.
Yeah. Speaking of that, but when I mentioned this in this, when I made that stream one particular Monday, only about a few weeks ago,
turn, man.
there was this person said Diana as a YouTube channel account said I want to stream, and I asked when and where, but no response. And soon it was in fact Diana though. But I mean, even the fact that she had a crush on me, Crystal had a crush on me, and the one we don't even talk about had a crush on me, and I was like, what am I, a freaking chick magnet? I mean,
if you are, then we don't know your field of, then we don't know your magnetic field.
I have no answer on that one. But even if that is the case, that every girl that show up in my streams like, oh, he sounds nice, I want to be with him. I mean, if that were the case, I'm like, I mean, if like say, if Athena also like, oh, I want to be with him, and I was like, please, lol, another one. Not to be offensive, Athena, it's just, I kind of used by now. But just been saying, it's, I mean, even if Athena
Really,
would have
Athena likes
for
my
me,
Mario voice.
yeah.
To be fair, Athena, I also
You can-
enjoy this Mario voice. That's why I do it.
You can also do Luigi.
I am here.
But yeah, Athena, I'm here now. The one you summoned.
Your secret boyfriend. Just kidding, just kidding. Oh man. Yeah, this is uh-oh, the game is frozen.
It's gonna crash.
Nope,
There-
now it's again.
Oh,
The game
it could have
freeze.
been. It could have been connection freezing due to connection.
Is this
I mean,
often
that's fine.
happening?
The screen froze for me in the game for a moment, but it's not like unusual.
You
It
did!
has happened.
Dang it, dude! Ugh.
Oh dear.
Yeah, listen.
Well,
Oh.
unlucky.
Again, you know, this is actually like the second time it happened. Yep, game guy will be
Yeah.
back, yes.
But
He
yes,
will be back
Spears.
soon.
But yes, Spears, I did find some evidence in one of your streams that proved my innocence.
Yeah, about that. It's just crazy how you were being accused of being oh, he's back. That you were accused of being cheating, despite that you have known the fact that the answer is maybe weeks or even months ago, or even a year ago, or something like that. It is this fact, or even you do some.
Streamer did not like me.
I joined
swearing.
them around mid-December of last year.
Yeah, so it's crazy though. I mean, we talk about almost anything in my streams and game guys. What did it look like? What? What you're even talking about?
Game guy, I got a seat for you.
I know
Hello.
what a ghost looks like. Personally, I never even have.
Alright, I'll
experienced.
do that one next time.
I have actually experienced a presence of a spirit or a ghost, but never even saw it. But somehow I felt it. But I wouldn't say I'm a strong spirit. You know, a very strong connector to spirit world. I can only. It has only happened just once. And this was actually during the first funeral that my old colleague that I mentioned before. Me and some other colleagues actually went to this funeral, and we were sitting in those these rows in the church, and but those booths, the rows has like a small door with a small lock on the outside to lock it. But I struggled to keep it locked. But even my former supervisor, she tried also to lock it, but she couldn't. And at that moment when the coffin was walking down the aisle, then it suddenly it finally locked itself. So we thought, and I do believe, that the spirit of the man who had passed away somehow fixed it, one final thing to lock. Because when he was alive, he was actually working to dismantle things. And I believe that his spirit locked that small door only when his coffin was walking down the aisle. So I also my adopted grandfather told me a story that that years ago.
Well, I guess it was possible that if he heard about people believing in ghosts, he wanted to show the fact that supernatural can exist.
Hmm. But yeah, but and like I said, the one of my grandfather told me that that one and his last wife, the one he married, who passed away in early 2005, um, they rented this old summer cabin. From it was a very old cabin, maybe a couple of 100 years old or something. They heard this bang, 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 bang on the in the attic, like it was someone like walking around with boots. And I don't know exactly how long ago this happened. He only mentioned the story like just once. But the creepier part is this is what he told me, that shortly after, some time later, there were this remodeling in the basement. No, wait, not in the. No, no, wait. This place didn't even have a basement, but they were remodeled some of the interior of the summer cabin, and in the wall, they found something.
Well,
They found the remains of a young girl. They found the remains of a young lady in the wall. Ever since they removed her remains, the haunting stopped. And like I said, this was what I told from my grandfather. I can't even prove if that happened. I mean, I don't know exactly. First of all, I don't know exactly where it happened and in what year it happened. So I can't even look it up on if there's any mention that in the newspaper or anywhere. So I only have his word of this haunting happened. So, but I don't think my grandfather would even lie about it. And there is in the U.S. there are many haunted buildings, like old asylums, old hospitals, even old school buildings. Like if you're watching some of the Ghost Adventures, which was what I haven't seen that in years, but it's one of my. It was actually one of the best haunting series I've seen. That they showing many places that was
Hey,
really
Sirius,
extreme. Hmm? Yep.
you ever heard of a show called Fact or Faked Paranormal Files?
Um, I don't think so.
It's a show where they look up stories and videos of evidence that go along with these stories, and they try to prove if it is a fact or a fake. And they do like 3 experiments, and then they determine if it is actually fact or fake, if what they saw was real or not. And
Hmm.
one case I remember was called Starlight Intruder, and it was a triangle shaped UFO.
Wow. Um.
Because what happened was this guy was filming like aircraft at an air base, and then right out of the blue in the sky, he saw a triangle shaped craft, and it had 5 lights on it, and it was going through the sky, was not making any sound. It was some kind of silent craft, and there was some kind of commercial tracker aircraft in the video, and not even that craft could detect this particular craft on its radar, from what I heard.
Um. Wait. Was it in Arizona or
Um,
because there is this light that shape as a triangle in Phoenix? It was a big light, like a triangle.
you would have to watch the episode. You can find it on YouTube.
Hmm.
But they determined that it was fake and that it was a hand glider.
That would make sense. Yeah, and since the fact that many many sightings of the so-called UFOs back in the 50s and in the 60s, many stories of people being approached by officials from the government or either by the U.S. Army, the U.S. Air Force, being telling the witness to just being quiet about it, not to mention this to anyone about it. Like I don't think like they had to sign any documents to being just keep quiet about it. They're also about the stories. Okay, there's even one story, but this has had nothing to do with UFOs, but about supposed cryptids. It's only been seen once, called the green claw creature from Ohio River. And the thing is, in a story about this was in 1955. An Air Force colonel showed up at this woman's home and demanded her stop talking about it. I was like, wait a minute. If this is supposed to be an Air Force colonel, what it had to be doing about a creature that was supposed to be living in a river? Like, I mean, if it had to be about the river or any water department like that, it had to be something that involves like 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 the Coast Guard or any city department that's taking care of water. What is it like? Why was the Air Force colonel even present at this family home? Demand that she stop talking about it. I mean, that was like an Air Force. And what about they had to do something about something is supposed to be living in a river? I mean, rivers had nothing to do with the Air Force. I mean, they have only about the sky and all that, but so yeah, I mean, it's just crazy how that's supposed to be happening. And there is even one story about another UFO story I heard. This man found something or saw something, and he received a phone call for a man who said that he was with the U.S. government. And just shortly after the call ended, there was a knock on the front door, and there stood a man in a black suit, bald, pale, like plastic white pale, no eyebrows. And he was like, when he was talking, it was like almost robotic. It is how that strange is. And Athena, I was only saying it. That was only that I assumed that you had a crush on him. It was only what I assumed, and nothing that you've been nothing that I wasn't like trying to be offensive or offensive to you any remote that. It was only I thought that you may have a crush on him. That's all I thought. No worries. But about the UFOs, there was only until like for the past 10 to 20 years when the U.S. government decided to come out forward, they established this organization to keep track on all this supposed UFOs, because many UFO sightings have even happened near has happened near actually has happened near several.
Say about that.
There actually have been a few.
I can also remember one other factor fake case that was like a white light shining over some sand dunes in either New Mexico or Utah, and it was in the sky. It didn't hit the ground, deflected off the ground, and then it dove right
Whoops,
at the
the game
ground again.
crashed.
But this time, it actually exploded on impact,
Whoa.
and they determined it fake.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And I'm like,
But
BS. If that light exploded, then that is not fake, assholes.
well, I can say there is actually one state that has many activities within the UFOs. That other than from Utah, there is the other one that has very much high activities of UFOs.
It
Is
might not have been
Alaska.
Utah because it had white sand on the ground, and New Mexico is known for white sands as well.
But even Utah has some strong sightings of UFOs. But the most other one, other from the lower 48, is Alaska. Alaska has also many sightings of UFOs, and there is actually even Mount Denali is said. No, wait, Mount Hayes. Mount Hayes is said to be, at least alleged to be a base, an underground alien base under beneath the mountain. And the fact that there is stories of a pyramid in
Here we go
Alaska,
again.
but this pyramid was found by a random, but is also known as the Black Pyramid of Alaska. And it said that the US government had built a base around it. And if I remember, this Black Pyramid is literally, at least if I remember right, it's not even touching the ground. It's levitating. And it's like they're hovering above the ground. But I don't know if that's even true. But there is one thing. There is one story about of the Alaska that involves.
Got him.
Let's see here. The thing is also in Alaska, Alaska has the most plane crashes in the whole U.S. Like more than not just more than double. There's probably like 3 times more than the rest of the entire U.S. has been totaled combined. But there is one plane, the 1950 Douglas C-54D disappearance. This plane was a Douglas plane, and which is normally used sometimes within the military. This plane disappeared in the border between Alaska and the Yukon province of Canada. It just gone without a trace. There was 44 people on the plane, and they spent days, weeks searching in the area where the plane vanished. No trace, no traces of any wreckage of the plane. Like nothing. It's just disappeared in the middle of nowhere. There are stories of people who are flying a plane. They're saying that the compass is spinning all directions. It's completely useless. There's also some stories that they have been traveling through a vortex, and the fact that they're seeing the clouds. They're flying a normal calm day. There are like almost no clouds in the sky. A sunny normal day, and gone. Suddenly, the whole plane is covered, or it's surrounded by mist. Not white mist, but yellowish, like yellow. And it's like, and then it is just the clouds or the mist is gone. Then like the weather it's back to normal. Alaska was also home to this Alaskan Triangle. And ever since 1980s, 30,000 people have disappeared in this triangle. Some have been found, but others haven't. Think about it. Alaska is understandable enough that when people that vanish in Alaska while in those supposed triangle, it has many logical answers to that. Many first blame on the weather, which can be true. If you're in the winter, it can be the wind. Alaska winter can be very dreadful. The temperature can drop. There can be snowstorms, and since there are not many big cities or villages around in Alaska, there are miles and miles of untamed wilderness. And there are also many animals like wolves, bears, wolverines, and other animals that can hurt you, like moose. And even in the summer, can the weather also be dangerous? I mean, especially if you're in the dry season, where many animals, like big predator animals like wolves, bears, if they try to find some prey or any
Yeah,
food
you thought that was
source.
gonna be good.
So many people who can also be disappearing in Alaska from they can actually be people
Yes.
living off grid,
What?
can killing people for trespassing on their territory, on their land. Because there have been stories of people that which lives involved in cults in Alaska. But can also be people that literally also goes to Alaska to just disappear on purpose, never been seen again. There's also that. That's a fact. But 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 the many people even blame on the like Bigfoots being killing and eating people, the UFOs and being kidnapping people there for well for any particular reasons. But kidnap reduction of people by UFOs is not like a new. It has been around for decades. So, but people who go to Alaska, but the people that have vanished, not necessarily people that's from different countries or even or other parts of the U.S. They can even be people that has been living in Alaska for years. That's also the thing about. But it doesn't say that everyone who goes to Alaska or who lives in Alaska had to disappear. Can happen at any point. But I have to say though, Alaska has this beautiful nature, and it can many goes to Alaska for observing the beautiful nature that there is there, like the beautiful landscape with the rivers, the waterfalls, the mountains, or in the winter when this beautiful winter landscape with all the snow and all. I mean, it's beautiful. Many people
I
goes
feel
there
like
just
I feel like Montana can kind of be something like that because of its national parks and like beautiful forest scenery.
yeah, that's true. Many people. Okay, not just only Alaska people can go disappear. It can also be any states. It can be. It can even be in New Hampshire. People can vanish in. It can be even New York. Like in New York State, like in New York City, there are actually people that have been living in the city, but then gone. Turns out they've been living underground,
Oh,
like
Jesus Christ.
like
Oh, I'm dead.
in the subway or any train tunnels or just
Of
anywhere.
course.
Even in my country, it can be people that just been living
Hey,
a normal
Spears,
life
I'm gonna show
and they vanish.
I'm gonna show I'm gonna show a thing of one of my other OCs.
Athena's isn't here anymore,
Oh,
and I will be muted for a bit since I have to do something.
Well, you can still change it. Maybe she'll come back. Let's do.
um, I got
Hold on.
one.
I'll do this one
Oh,
first. You can put yours down the And I'll probably end up dying really quick anyway. And plus, if I didn't do that, Malachite, we'd never be able to see, finally, Barneo. Look at this guy.
Oh God.
I'm not singing the song, by the way. I don't think anyone's ready for that.
No.
I don't really feel like doing it anyway, so I'm fine with that. That's not a star. I can't fight you right now. Why is the boss music bumpy planes?
Chain chomp. Hello, bye-bye.
I'm running from my life. I did not want to end up down here. Shit. Mario, where are you go? Okay. That's why I didn't want to stay. Anyway. I'm going to put 120 there. Now, what was the seed you wanted me to do? 61612? I gotta hit the Discord. Oh my god, that's... 616112. I don't even get the that's on the list. What time is it? 6.
What is this secret stars?
Huh?
What is this secret stars?
Oh, those are stars that you don't get in any course. So, what are some secret stars? The aquarium's one. The cap switch stars are secret stars. The slide stars.
Uh-huh.
Any of the Bowser level stars, those are secret stars. Basically those. Also, why are you playing Super Mario Sunshine music in a snow level? This seems incredibly wrong.
Huh.
Not that I'm complaining. No, I like Sunshine music.
I mostly like the storyline.
You like the storyline of Mario Sunshine?
Yep.
It's such a that game is such a weird, crazy, odd experience.
I know. I ever watched that once. It's gameplay, of course.
Ah, yes. My favorite Mario storyline. Mario gets himself arrested for pollution.
How odd. How odd.
It gets a jetpack made by some old guy that isn't even technically part of the game.
Okay, what?
And of course, who
Jetpack?
could forget Bowser Jr. turning into Mario, even though it isn't Mario and it's a shadowy form of Mario.
But it's similar silhouette, you know.
I know, it's just Sunshine. It's a good game, but it's like, what is going on in this game right now?
Very, very odd. I know it.
I was gonna have Roy play it, but I'm dead.
God damn
I
it.
was gonna have Roy play it, but then the Wii stopped working, and that was what we were using to, play the GameCube games. So we can't not until Anyone else want to give me another seed?
Come on, don't you just me.
88222.
88222.
Yeah.
Wait. I feel like we did this seed already.
Then change one of the twos to a 6.
A 6?
Athena, did you do this one?
She isn't even here anymore.
Here, I'm gonna do 622.
Question, Super Millionaire afterwards?
Traverse is gonna be streaming in like, what was it? 2-ish hours, so like, I'm not gonna be able to do that.
I mean, we can always end the stream here soon enough, though.
I still need to prepare for that, and I do kind of have other things I kind of want to do, so.
Alright, we can let's do it tomorrow or later week.
Like that. I was putting down the seed number. Don't worry, Mal. I'm gonna re-put that because I don't think that's very fair for you.
Die again?
Die.
Yeah.
In such a embarrassing way. I got you.
Excuse me. Oh boy, too much energy drink here for me. Ugh. And I have 4 more in the fridge. Big ones. And it's not Monster, it's Wolverine. The brand is known as Wolverine.
You're not evil when you're thirsty. Drink.
I told her I wasn't hungry, though.
I know that. I'm the one that told
Alright, this is take 2.
said, are you muted?
Ronnie, since you live in Indonesia, have you ever been to some of the big islands like Java, Sumatra?
I am on Java.
Oh, so you are in Java. Okay, I thought you lived like Indonesia itself. My bad.
I live in Bekasi.
Cassie Batman 1985. Okay, that's a new person. Any comments? Hello. Yeah, I was actually been thinking of, but maybe do one day to perhaps do a quiz based on the Indonesian history or something like that. It just I had to do some I've been digging in the on Wikipedia, just if I can find some good topics that could have been used uh, as a quiz. Currently, I have to work on 10 new quiz, which is US, UK, Scotland, Swedish, Spain, Japan, France, Finland, cryptid, and Canada type of history quiz and others.
Now you
And the fact
mention
that
it. Some of Indonesian history is one of on the Bandung. It's called as the Sea of
Hey,
Fire.
author.
did you say field of fire?
Sea of Fire.
Free of fire?
Yes, Bandung Sea of Fire.
I don't know. I've ever heard that one before.
It's quite historic,
I,
you know.
I know how I feel about this music being played during a Bowser fight. It's funny, but like what?
I only had heard just a little about the Indonesian history. Like very little about it. Like Indonesia became independent 1945. I think that was, if that's true. They also found very interesting remains on Java. Not human remains, not dinosaurs. But they found what they call the Java Man. Basically, it was a member of the Homo erectus, one of humans' earliest ancestors. But I have to say, Indonesia actually has a pretty unique culture with Hinduism, Buddhism, Muslim culture, and how that all the cultures had mixed over the past few hundred years, and how the country itself was divided, and how much it was suffering from the World War II and some other previous, and especially how Indonesia and many other islands in the area suffered from the 2004 tsunami.
True. That's quite horrible
Yeah.
history on the past.
Oh.
Because 2004 tsunami was the biggest in the history, and they suspect that over 250 or 280,000 people, at least 250 to close to 300,000 people died from that.
It's Swedish. You might want to change the title. This is not B3313. This is Iron Mario.
Iron?
Yeah, Iron.
Like
Trust
this?
me, yeah.
Got it. But yeah, Indonesia were, at least when that disaster happened, unfortunately, at the time when that tsunami happened, there were no tsunami warning system in the Pacific Ocean at the time. That was only that was installed after disaster. And but many people who died, or at least lost their lives in that, and even to this day, there are still many people hasn't been found ever since. It's very more likely that they have been pulled out when the water would draw back from the land out of the ocean again. That many bodies have been, was dragged out in the open ocean and may never actually be found. It's also a possibility that some of the bodies from the accident could have been washed up on other beaches along the Pacific Ocean, on say like Maldives, maybe perhaps Sumatra or Java or any other places, but the bodies was never found. It's also because it was that day was pretty bad. I remember that my parents after this was just shortly after Christmas when this Indonesian tsunami happened. I remember my parents normally would be buying fireworks for just before um, before New Year's, but so basically, my parents instead donated that money to the help for those who died in Indonesia and in the Pacific Ocean. And like I said before, then there was no system that was warning people about this. It was pretty hard, but now there is a system that warn countries like Sumatra, Indonesia, or has India or other countries in the Pacific Ocean about if there will be a new tsunami or anything. But it's a
Stuff like
it's
that
a
it was happen because of the volcanic eruption. Yeah,
yeah.
some because Indonesian was one of the ring of fire.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is the Ring of Fire, which do fact is a very active number of volcanoes around that. It's this might be surprising, but there is actually even some active volcanoes in Alaska and of all places in the U.S. And also there are in fact no active volcanoes in Scandinavia where I live, but there is actually one island that is located a bit further up north in the Arctic, and that is the most northern volcano that is still active, and that island belongs to Norway. So that is Norway's only volcano that is active. But volcanoes itself and other disasters, it's unfortunately it's not something that we can expect. Like Fukushima,
Oh, I'm
that's
dead.
not that in happened in Japan 2011. That was also one of the baddest, worst disasters in modern history because there even after this disaster happened, there's still some area of Fukushima that's not even permitted to even enter because of the fact that radioactive activity is still been playing on the area. It's it's like 1986 when Chernobyl had its meltdown. It also exploded, and Sweden suffered also from some of the radioactivity. Many reindeers in an up and northern part of my country had to be slaughtered because of they were eating some moss that was radioactive. And even after that, Chernobyl itself, um, entire Chernobyl was fortunately it was yeah, man, I can't even speak today. There was an evac of the whole city. But now there's a handful of people that moved back to Chernobyl, mostly elderly people. But there is another city that was equally suffering from that disaster, and that is Pripyat. If I remember, there was in Ukraine or in Belarus, which is also a European country. That city had 50,000 people at a time when that disaster happened, but now it's zero. No one lives in the city. No one. It's just completely abandoned. And they're expecting that people could have returned back to Pripyat and with the next few hundred years or so. I mean, there is even one story. A man who's, if you know about the bombing of Nagasaki and Hiroshima, 1945, there was actually a man who was from Nagasaki, from Nagasaki, but he was in Hiroshima, and he was present at that moment when the bomb hit Hiroshima, and he survived. And he returned home to his hometown of Nagasaki, but only to be that the Americans dropped their second bomb in the city only a few days later. And he survived the second atomic bomb. And I believe he died later at age 90. I think it was between 90 and 97 years old. And that is quite an impressive life that he survived not just one, but two atomic bombs. Atomic bombs. It's impressive. There were actually, this might be a surprise, much shocking also that during the fact when Hiroshima bomb exploded, there are parts of the Hiroshima that was rebuilt, but in fact there is present of that looks like almost if someone had painted of an outline of a person on the ground or of a building. It isn't painted. That was an actual person when the bomb exploded and they were vaporized. And one of the buildings, at least one I've seen, that actually looks like a man walking with a cane. And he was standing in front of a wall. And his outline of his body, including the cane, was imprinted like a shadow on the wall. That's kind of a bit disturbing to know that. Imagine if if the US never dropped those bombs in Hiroshima, or even Japan over at all. Japan may actually have continued the war in Pacific Ocean for much longer. And that's like the D-Day in Normandy. Hitler, he was aware of this invasion for weeks, but he didn't do anything. He knew there's gonna be an invasion somewhere in Europe along the beach, but exact location, it wasn't even known. But the day when the D-Day actually happened, the Allied forces had gained a foothold not only on that beach, but also had managed to push inwards on the mainland of Europe. And at the time of the D-Day happened, Hitler was back in his summer vacation home, asleep, peacefully, like a baby. Even though the fact that he was aware it's going to be an invasion at some point, but he didn't know exactly what day or what location. Only it's going to be invasion. And that's his crazy part. And even weeks after the invasion did happen, then he'd send reinforcements to the Normandy, but it was way too late for him because at the time the Allied forces had already got a grasp of bigger foothold within Europe. But not only the Allied forces, they actually managed to get support, ally with many resistance groups, especially in France. I read that this story that when France had surrendered to Hitler and to the Nazis in the war, Hitler wanted to destroy the Eiffel Tower as a symbol of hope and peace and all that. But he wanted to climb up the top of the tower to view the city. It's no problem. He wanted to take the elevators, but that didn't work because the French workers or resistance had sabotaged the elevators. So they couldn't even take the elevator to the top. There was a staircase. He could have walked all the way to the top, but he didn't want to do that. So the French resistance, they saved an iconic building. Even though the tower itself wasn't supposed to be where originally, after it was constructed, I think it was the World Fair, it was supposed to be demolished sometime afterwards, but people didn't want that to happen. So I can say this: good thing that the French resistance was so smart to sabotage the elevators. Otherwise, they wouldn't even happen to be in the seeing their iconic structure of a tower would have been part of the French culture for years. Suddenly gone. The same thing as for Hitler. He actually even put one man named Albert Speer in order to reshape whole Berlin to a new capital, but not national nation capital, world capital. He would have transformed Berlin to the capital of the whole world. And would have been known as Germania. He wanted to build some new buildings, like huge buildings. Some of the material that was sent to build was actually from my own country. It was like marble and iron. Problem that Berlin didn't even had any little solid bedrock deep underground. It didn't have that. So, in order to make sure that buildings that they wanted to build was big, he wanted to build something like the same size as Colosseum, perhaps even bigger, almost like twice as big as Colosseum in the length. But that would have meant that the building would be quite heavy. So, Albert Speer he put some people to build this giant concrete block and to see how much it will sink in the ground, just to see they will equal the weight of the building they wanted to construct. But they discovered the concrete block was too heavy and it was sinking so much in the ground. Some sort of buildings they wanted to build never happened. If you were happened to be in Berlin, that concrete block is actually even still there, even to this day. Some of the things that they wanted to build for this big new capital was this big street, like a main street with this triumph arch. And they literally put light posts to be part of this new world capital construction. They also were built. I mean, they were just simple light poles, but still. That's a good thing that that capital was never built. But I only imagine if the Nazis did have won the war, they will easily have conquered US, more like perhaps half of the country would belong to US and other half to perhaps the Japanese Empire. But what about the rest of the world? I mean, I would presume that the Scandinavia countries like my own would belong to Russia, belong to Germans, to Nazi people. But I may wonder, what about the Pacific Ocean? Without the Allied forces win, Indonesia may actually be under the Japanese Empire's control, and much of the like even the capital would have been probably would have been destroyed. People would have been put in labor camps. There would have been strict rules, very strict rules, like no public speech, no normal freedom and such. It's kind of how things may look like what if scenario. I don't even want to know. But sometimes it's curious to DC considering how would the world be like if they did win the war, or how the world been like if Japan never had attacked Pearl Harbor. There's a possibility that either US may not have even had joining the war at all. They just have been sitting out to be just and would even provide with nothing to the Allies, like weapons, troops, or anything, unless there were people that voluntarily would have been going to help during the war. But otherwise, but also possibility that even if the U.S. was never attacked, they could have been entering the war later with troops, weapons, tanks, planes, everything they needed. But who knows? I mean, it's kind of, but if you look at this, that during the war, Russia and Germany, they signed this pact that Russia wouldn't be attacked by the Germans. But Hitler broke the pact, and he managed to send troops, but they didn't manage to conquer Russia at all. Many soldiers died during the Russian winter. They tried to conquer Moscow, but didn't manage much the luck of that part. Though the soldiers that died, that were managed to survive in the winter, they let's say they took things from their fallen soldier comrades, like boots, coats, anything to keep themselves warm. They were even equipped for the Russian winter. Not all. Many conquerors had tried to conquer Russia while it's in Moscow, including a Swedish king, but he failed. Napoleon tried and failed. The Russian winter is not a joke. It's not the same thing that you want to play around with. It's gets pretty cold. I probably should end here anyways. Almost 3.5 hours. Jeez, that was much longer than I expected. But yeah. Athena came back there in the stream, but now she's gone. She's came back with someone other XX Coda XX. That she said that her phone account on her iPad died. So but she isn't even there anymore. So hilarious to see the different Mario this time. Well, I will end here. So yeah. So well, everyone, this has been fun. This once a Brony just came back again, which is always happy to see him when he had the time and if he can. So but yeah, until next time, will be hopefully next Friday, maybe earlier in the week. It depends if I'm up for it. Anyways, this is Fish Diablo signing off. Bye.
Bye bye, everyone.
And goodbye.